What's going on, everybody? We still having issues, dude. Why is this lagging? I know y'all can see this. It's like a latency lag going on. I don't know what the heck is going on with this stuff. Hold on. Let's see. I think that might have helped a little bit. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boys over No Days Off DFS here to bring you a WNBA slate breakdown for the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. It's not the regular season no more. It's not the little ticky tacky games till we get to the end. This is where the games matter, where they count. We got a 3-game series going on. Top 8 teams in the league, and I'm excited to break that down. My boy BK, he will be. See, that's what I'm saying. So many issues. Shouldn't be having these issues. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? I know it takes a second for the stream to actually catch up to where I'm at, talking and shit. Okay. What's going on, everybody? It's your boys over No Days Off DFS, back to bring you a WNBA slate breakdown for the playoffs. We have finally made it into the playoffs. It is the playoff time where games matter. Top 8 teams going to be going head-to-head, 3-game series to knock it out and make it to the next round. I'm excited to break that down. If you guys are new here, you guys have not done so already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss none of these breakdowns that we're doing all throughout the playoffs. On top of that, don't forget, we have other sports coming up, starting and everything of the sort, and we will be breaking those down as well. Can't wait to go over the NFL again this week. Hopefully, me and my boy Easy, we will be back to be able to do our Up to Lock. That was actually a lot of fun. A lot of people tuned in for that, and we were able to break down quite a bit of stuff for that one right there. So definitely look forward to doing that again this weekend. So definitely subscribe so you guys don't miss any of that stuff. With that being said, let's go ahead. Let's get ready to go and break down the slate. BK will be joining us in a second. He just got back to the house. He's getting all set up. Honestly, that gave me time to try to figure out what the heck was wrong with my computer. And it looks like the lag that I had. Yep, the lag is finally gone and everything. Mic issues, mic check is good and all that good stuff. So, all right. Yeah, we can go ahead and resume normal broadcast like we normally do. So, first things first, looking at the injury report for what we got. Wait, pump the brakes. Not first thing first, injury report. First thing first, the 2 teams that we got, 4 teams that we got, 2 games that we got today. Let's look at who we got playing today. We got the Minnesota Lynx taking on the Connecticut Sun. And then we got the Chicago Sky taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Now, this is not going to come as no surprise to anybody. None whatsoever. Unless someone magically gets hurt. I'm not even going to say magically. Unless someone legit gets hurt in one of these series, I'll say the Chicago Sky, Las Vegas Aces. We already know who should win that. Of course, it should be the Aces. They are legit the better team, leaps and bounds ahead of the Sky. They are legitimately from top to bottom, 1 through 4 at least. Now, going over to the Connecticut Sun, taking on the Minnesota Lynx, I will say that this could actually be a much closer series considering how well the Minnesota Lynx have played, especially to end the season. This one could be the more closer of the 2 series, especially if, I'm not saying it's going to happen, Wnba or someone in that main starting lineup was to get hurt and injured. It would be much closer, especially when you got a Kayla McBride and Fee on the other end of that court that can definitely take you to all 3 games and could possibly knock you out. I believe it. I believe it. That's all I'm going to say. But looking at the injury report for what we got for today's slate, we got for the Minnesota Lynx, they are still without Wnba, Lindsay Allen, and Jessica Shepard. She was ruled out yesterday, so we do not have to worry about that. We know that Dorcas, she will be slating in and starting at that center position. which she actually did, I want to say, in 2 out of the couple of games that they played. Let me look and pull that up for you guys. I'm killing time like I always do. Wait for BK, guys. But yeah, out of those 2 out of the 4 games, I know Dorka, she played significant minutes in 2 of those games for them. The Lynx, they actually did beat them once out of their 4 games, and in all honesty, all those games were close. All those games were pretty decently close games, except for one game where it was 89-68. But other than that, it was actually still pretty decently close. Going over to the Connecticut Sun side, Tiffany Hayes is a game time decision tag, but she should be good to play. The one that we have to worry about is going to be Carrington because it popped up again talking about her foot. Her foot. Now, this is the same foot that she missed a couple of games for, where she was out for quite some time. So that I'm definitely going to want to pay attention to that because Carrington technically is one of the value plays we have on the slate. If Carrington is to miss, then of course we're going to have to look at Harris as possibly the other backup for the guard position that we could look to as some value on today's slate, or maybe that puts more of a Heidemann into play, or we could look at Tiffany Hayes, either one of those two. But that's what we got to kind of pay attention to look at for that. Over here for the Chicago Sky, I have not found anything on Alana Smith. I have looked high and low, and I have been trying to find and see if anyone has posted anything in regards to it. I'm going to check again right now. But the last thing I seen was that she left Sunday's game with an apparent ankle injury, ankle, knee, something like that injury. No, I didn't watch the game, but she's questionable. She's listed as questionable for today. She left the last game with an apparent injury. So kind of toss up in the air. I really want to understand and know if she's going to be playing or not, because if she's not going to play, then we know for a fact that's going to slide in either Parks or Cone is going to slide into that starting lineup. And again, that's another value play that we can go to look at on today's slate. Over here for the Las Vegas Aces, I don't know why it has Candace Parker as green, possible game time decision to play. Same thing over there on DraftKings. When you look at it, for some reason, for whatever reason, and there's no update in here in regards to Candace Parker, I haven't seen anything, but they got her as questionable to play. I did not expect Candace Parker to play this playoffs at all. I want to say it was a setback anyway with her during her rehab or after her surgery or whatever and whatnot. So I do not expect Candace Parker to play. And even if she was good to go, I doubt they toss her into the first game of the playoffs or anything of the sort. So we're not even going to pay that any attention. All right. Going over the DraftKings, the site that I play the most on, the site that has been pretty good to us throughout the season. And if you guys don't have an account, you know what I'm going to say. Check the link down in the description below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join me over here on the King and come win some of this money, because this is where we play for our NBA, our WNBA, our NFL, college football, and UFC. All of that stuff is over here on DraftKings. Starting with the first game, I was really hoping BK would have jumped in by now. He said he was home like almost 20 minutes ago. But all right. Starting with the first game, looking at the Minnesota Lynx side. Oh, there we go. Boom. You right on time. Right on time.
Yo.
You hear me?
Yep. I can hear you, brother.
All right. Yeah, you right on time. I just got through the injury report and just got over the DraftKings.
Bad.
All right. So starting with the Minnesota Lynx taking on the Connecticut Sun. Who you got in this game? Go ahead, tell the people. We're not gonna be surprised by anything that you say.
Um, I guess for me, in this game,
Well, correction.
I'm
Who do you
probably
got winning this game? Is what I was asking. Who do you got winning?
that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay,
I'm
okay.
probably going. Everything in me want to say the Lynx, dead ass. Because I like some of these underdogs, the Lynx, the
I know you're not liking the Sky.
Mystics.
Okay.
No, I mean I like the plus 16 for the Sky. I think that shit is just way too high. I mean, I know it's the Aces, I know it's playoff time, I know they all gonna come locked in, but I just think that the Sky can pull that one off. Might not get the win, but I definitely think they can cover the spread. And this one though, I think Connecticut takes game one. It would not shock me if the Lynx won, but I think I'm gonna rock with the Sun for game one.
Okay, so leaning on onto that game thought, that game theory, because we know the playoffs is all about game theory and stuff like that. Because it's not
Yeah.
the regular season anymore, where it's like, okay, you got the good matchup, you got the teams that game planning, they're trying to shut down the best players and everything. We expect other things to have to step up, so on and so forth. So if we're going with the thought of, all right, the Lynx, they could possibly pull off the upset. What would actually lead to the Lynx getting that upset and actually winning here?
Collier. I think it all starts with Collier. She's got to come locked in. She's got to have a good game Also, Dorka and Kayla McBride is definitely gonna have to step it up. I mean, when you look at the other pieces around them, everybody else is sometime. Tiffany Mitchell may or may not come with it locked in. Diamond Miller, first year player. I know she's gonna want to come She's gonna want to come locked in, but I don't really know what to expect from her this first game. But I think it all comes down to how well Kayla McBride is shooting, and same goes for Nafisa Collier. If her shot is falling, she's being aggressive, getting to the free throw line, then they actually have a chance.
Okay, so
I
you don't
don't
think
hate the
that
matchup between these two teams, honestly.
the 12-2 is too much to pay for Fee?
Um,
Because she's the most expensive forward on the slate.
yeah, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, you can definitely get Asia Wilson and AT, and that'll be a much better stack. That's basically what I did yesterday. That's kind of put out a early core in the Discord. But yeah, that's kind of what I did yesterday. Was just played around with AT and Asia, and then if I'm gonna go to Collier, it'll be in tournaments because, like you said, the price is very high. And if you can fit all three, because that as we've seen slates become, and you got to remember this is a 2 game slate. It's not a 4 game
Oop, hold on. We lost you for a second.
smack ass.
Okay, you back now.
Okay, yeah, you got studs on this slate that could literally smack. So like when it becomes a raw points type of slate, you just gotta kind of just take what you can get at that point because dead ass, we could literally see a spot where all three of these players go off and somebody punt something and just stack some cheap pieces around those three
Yeah.
and take down. Like it's not impossible or improbable. So for me, like I said, I'm starting with the builds of AT Wilson and going from there.
Okay. All right. So looking at it, I agree with you on that one. If they're gonna want to win, I feel you that Fee is definitely gonna have to step up, which we've seen her do throughout the season, things like that. I'm interested to see how well they're gonna actually be able to defend her in this spot. Because now the Lynx, they did win one out of the 3 games that they did play
Yeah.
going up against them. And they
Yeah.
actually kept it close in one, two, and 3 out of the 4 games. And I want to say one of those games was actually without Fee. They kept it close with them. Actually, correction. Looks like 2 of those games was without Fee. Yeah, 2 of
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
games were without Fee, and they kept it close. And they
Mhm.
won one of
They
those games
won
without
one.
her.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that the Lynx could definitely upset. And I was saying this before you had got on that this would be the series right here where I could see an upset because out of the 2 games on today, of course, I'd say that the Sky can hang with them, but I don't expect the Sky to win. But this game right here, this definitely has the makings of they can come in here and they can do a little something, something. And when you look at it, Fee in those 2 games that she actually played going up against the Lynx, this was with Brianna Jones out there now, and this is with AT playing the power forward position. And
Hmm.
both of those games that Fee did play in, she gave AT the business.
Yeah.
She worked AT. AT couldn't hang with her in those games. And now you're either gonna have Bonner or freaking of Allen trying to guard Collier. Might still be the same thing. It might legit be the same thing. So yeah, I agree with you. 12-2, I think that's a bit expensive for her, but considering that the raw points and the upside that she has on it, that could put you leaps and bounds because I do see her being way lower owned than especially Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson's the cheapest out of the 3 stud forwards. Asia's going to be your chalky most owned one. Fee is not is going to come in probably half of the fraction of that. So definitely a way to truly get different on that. And I got to take for the other side on the Connecticut Sun side on how you can build to make this a legit GPP line and where you go to pull that off. Outside of Fee with no Shepherd, I like Dorka. Dorka down there, she's come on towards the end of the season. Her rebounding, it's gone up. Practically, she can get a double-double if she can able to get some of those putbacks or if her shot is actually falling or if she's even taking a shot. But what she does, I say she has a floor of at least 20-ish. And you can go ahead and fade Fee and take Dorka instead if you want to try to get a little piece from this or you can come down another 1K and get Kayla McBride. We've talked about it before. Kayla on the road is a little bit better than what she is at home. And on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, this is a vet. She's been to the playoffs before. I would expect her to have to step up. She's gonna know what she has to do in these positions, in these spots. They should be looking to her to help lead this team. I actually do not mind the matchup, her going up against Heidemann, um, or the Tiffany Hayes, either or. I really don't mind that at all. Kayla, she should be able to get off a couple of threes, maybe sink some things like that. And then if I'm taking any value play from them, it's going to be ban him over everyone else for the value, because ban him, we've seen it before. She comes in, she knocks down three threes. They'll keep her in there. They'll let her ride. They'll ride the hot end, let her stay hot. Carrollton, I'm not trusting that at all. AP, if they didn't play here during the regular season, like actual good minutes, I can't see them doing it during the playoffs unless like that was their game plan this whole time, was like we're saving AP for the playoffs. But
Mm-hmm.
I highly doubt that. Diamond, same thing. Eh, Rookie, got to see what the rookie can do first before it's like, okay, she's ready for this limelight. I got to see what she can actually do in the spot, because I think maybe she might be drawing the matchup of Bonner anyway out here. And then Tiffany Mitchell, that's your straight up GPP, get crazy wild with it, because T Mitch has not been pretty at all in this lineup for a minute. But yeah, that's my little 2 cents on all those. You got anything else for this one on this side?
Um, yeah, basically the same thing you said. Bantam is the one player that I am looking at. Uh, Excuse me. As far as value, Bantam is probably where I'm going. Like you said, Tiffany Mitchell just has not done it at all. I know they're not really giving Bantam a whole bunch of minutes, but Bantam is one of those players that will see minutes in the playoffs. They definitely need her. And she can score a lot better than Tiffany Mitchell. Tiffany Mitchell can
Yeah,
get the rack, but Bantam is a natural shooter. So
true.
you like that coming off the bench. So yeah, Benham is probably my value play. Dorker, I told myself I wouldn't play her, but
Come
when you
on.
building lineups and you look at everything else, Liz Williams may or may not go off. Very nice price for her, but you can't trust it. You don't know what you're getting out of her. You getting 13. Her history was like 13, 24, and like 30 something or 40 fantasy point game, something like that. But you have three different outcomes. You don't know what you're getting with her. So for me right now, I'm not chancing until I see how game one goes. Um, Same thing goes with Alana Smith. While she's been decent, still hasn't been great in this spot. So those mid tier forwards, man, it get ugly. So Dork is probably the best option right now, just due to like recent play. Um, but yeah, like I don't. It's tough because again, with the way you have to build your lineups, like today is gonna be crazy to see what first place takes down.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very interested. I think that we go back to the maybe 220, 230 might actually take down tonight if you find the right pieces and the right value actually goes off.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting for sure. Speaking of like the value, one of the sides that we could possibly get that value, going over here to the Connecticut Sun side, Dejanay Carrington, that foot again, that foot messing up on her. Do you think she plays today?
Ye- yeah, I think so. If she doesn't, then yeah, like you said, I would just watch for that news. It's the first game, so we should get that news. If she doesn't play, then of course you know the Heidemann and Harris and all of them will be in play. But if she plays, then I like her because I mean, look at what she's been doing. They gave her 16 minutes the first game. She had 22 fantasy points. They gave her 31 minutes that last game, and she had another 22 fantasy points. So if she plays, she's probably the best player for them off the bench. As you can see, that it didn't take no time for them to wrap up her minutes after 2 games of coming back
No.
from that foot injury. So they trust her a hell of a lot more than they trust Ty Harris and the Natisha Heidemans of the teams and shit like that. So Carrington is probably one of those players that if she plays, I'm definitely probably going there for sure. I like the price. A lot of people probably gonna be out for it right now, with the foot injury, it's gonna scare some people off. But I mean, think about it, when she came back and she played the 16 minutes, she gave you 22 fantasy points in 16 minutes. So if it was bothering her that bad, she would not have done that well. So for me, that's probably the best value play or the best player off the bench or whatever you want to call it in this game. Um, I love that a ton today. So I'm hoping that she plays so I don't have to mess with Ty Harris or any of those. Milic is somebody that's kind of interesting as well with Shepard out for the Lynx. But again, it's probably Bantam, Carrington if I'm talking about players off the bench. And then, of course, AT is always in play. I mean, this is a slate where you just and she like he said, she's cheaper than Nafisa Collier. You just lock that in. This is a player that already has 2.5 triple doubles versus this Link team. Her one of her games, she came up short just by a rebound or an assist, one of those. But I mean, just look at what she's done versus this team. One game under what I think 50 fantasy points. So far, she has pulling it out right now. 54, 30, 57, and a 70.
77.
Like, just I mean, just look at it. Just
And
look.
these first two games was with Brianna Jones. These second
Exactly.
two games are without Brianna Jones.
Exactly.
So
That's
it's there.
why, like for me, with her tonight, I don't think any of her props are a bad prop. First half points, first half fantasy. I mean, she's gonna come out with a vengeance. I mean, um, again, like I've been saying all day, there is no other name for MVP besides Alyssa Thomas. You can argue with your mama. I don't care.
Oh
They
yeah, they cannot argue that. Like there isn't, especially the step up that she took, the minutes that she played, the production, and the fact that you led your team to the third seed, making the playoffs, point blank. Period.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly. Because it's just like I said, man. Nobody else on that team is going to do that if Alyssa Thomas is not there. So with her, you just lock her in, move on. You don't even think about it. Tiffany Hayes, decent GPP option. Same with Bonner, really like her for tournaments as well. Other than that, that's really all I like in this game. On or off the bench, but nothing major. Um, I'll go ahead and go to this next game. Bro on the call right now. So looking at the next game, this is a game that everybody know. Vegas minus 30, right? Yeah, you can definitely take the spread. I don't mind it. Again, for me, I just they haven't beaten this team all season long. And again, like I said, I know it's the playoffs. I know teams are coming to play, especially Chelsea Gray. She's gonna be locked in playoff mode. If Asia come with the natural look, you better watch out because she probably dropping 50. Kelsey Plum, I expect her to be locked in from 3 today. Jackie Young is gonna be Jackie Young. So I mean, the team aces are gonna come, but again, um, this is one of the spots where we don't have to really guess a lot. One, we know the aces, they gonna play their starters. Their starters are gonna play damn near the whole game if they have to. But you already know 1 through 4, with the exception, like he always say, of Stokes. You can play any one of them from top to bottom. Chelsea Gray was one that stood out to me. Strong play today, has nothing under 31 fantasy points versus the Sky this year, while hitting her field goals made every game and her assists 2 out of 3 games. So her field goals made that was sitting at 6. If it's still sitting at 6, I definitely love that today. Let me check it and see. Yeah, it's still sitting at 6, so I don't mind it. Again, when it come to me, man, I'm a realist when it comes to shit like this. Like, I'm not gonna be biased just because it's my team. Like, I think Chelsea Gray is a great play overall today. She also has something where, across the timeline posted. I think she's like 12 assists away from another milestone. Hold on, pull it up. She is 12 assists behind Tamika Catching for 7th in the WNBA playoff history, and 12 assists behind Becky Hammond for first and Ace's postseason history. So I definitely think she come locked in today. That's why a lot of people is on her PA today, and I love that as well. For me, it was that her PA or her field goals made. So I like both. I only like Asian Plum from this game. Yeah. Plum is literally a sky killer. She didn't really do that great this year. She did have some really decent games. Same thing with Jackie Young. She had the one big blow up game. But like you said, for me, it's Asia and Plum. Like I said, don't sleep on Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray has big upside. Remember, she was MVP last year, if I'm not mistaken, or was it? Yeah, I think last year she was MVP. So, definitely gotta watch out for Chelsea Gray. She's definitely a sneaky play. As far as the sky, for me, it's Copper. Maybe has actually had this team number all year. Right now, she's averaging 30 fantasy points versus them in the 3 games this season: 31, 26, and 33. Her PRA at 22.5. Love that play. I think I've been saying that a lot. Her fantasy was sitting at an even 26. Even that is fine with me because, I mean, again, 31, 26, and 33. So her fantasy points is fine with me. The PRA is fine with me. Copper, very interesting play, even though she's only had one good game versus this Aces team. And I'm talking fantasy wise. I mean, just looking at her playoff numbers, I don't know if you can pull this up for me, bro.
What's your name?
This is gonna be on ESPN. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get to it. Maybe you can get to it faster than me. But if we try to pull up Kalia Copper on ESPN and look at her playoff numbers, like, bro, look at her numbers from 20. I want to say 2019. That's fine, but really 2020 through 2022, when you look at her look at her regular season numbers and then look at her postseason numbers, bro, they go up every year. And the one that stood out to me the most was her free throws. Like,
You're
look
right.
how many free throws she's taken during the regular season, and then look at her free throw numbers in the postseason. That's why I was all over her 2.5 free throw prop today, especially against the Aces. This is a tight rivalry for her. She was there with them when they got eliminated by the Sky. I mean, by the Aces that 1 year after that Dearica Hamby miracle shot. Um, she's been there through this battle time after time. So I like Kalia Copper a ton in this spot. I know everybody was on her rebounds over four. Well, if you caught it at 4.5 was still good. But yeah, for me, I mean, like I said, you don't know what Courtney Williams is going to do. Elizabeth Williams, Alana Smith, like, all of those plays are decent, but I just don't really know what to really do with them right now, especially as far as DFS. For prop wise, I was looking at Liz Williams PR at 14.5. I can't lie. Like, it looks enticing as hell when you look at, like, the points and rebounds that she's had versus this team, which is actually kind of shocking to me, because she really has never really fared that well versus Asia. But I mean, new system, new team, new players. So she's actually found some decent success versus this team, especially hitting her PR. She's hit it 2 or 3 games. So I mean, that's gonna come with a lot of risk though. So I mean, if you want to take a stab at that, I don't mind that. Alana Smith, I know a lot of people was on her rebounds as well, over 5.5. That's still good if it's still there. I also liked her 22.5 fantasy points. In this spot, she has 23, 23, and 27 fantasy points. So she's hit that 22.5 every game this year. Um, no real value. No real value. Like I said, and like he always like to say, I know you're gonna probably bring it up. Sidney Colson, if you like pain.
Oh no, 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 not no, no, not today, not today. That
That's
was a
what I'm
joke.
saying.
That's
It's
a joke.
playoff times for me for the Aces, bro. You just
Nah, with the Aces today, straight up facts, 1 through 4, Clark off the bench. That's it. Like dead ass. Do not touch Bell. Do not touch Kayla George. Don't touch Colson. If you can get 1 through 4 and Clark is the only other person that you will include and make that a starting 5, that's it from the Aces. Don't fuck around with all the other bullshit because this,
yeah,
like you said, I do expect this game to be close. I do think Chicago can cover that 16-point spread because I mean, shit. Let's even look and see what did they lose their games by going up against them in the regular season because I don't think it was. Let's see, covered, quick math, covered. So they covered that in all 3 of those games. I understand it's
yeah,
the playoffs.
yeah.
Starters play more in the playoffs. Starters play
Mm-hmm.
more intense, and the defense intensity goes up in the
Yes.
playoffs. So I'm not going to expect all of a sudden if they covered that during the regular season, why the hell ain't they going to cover it right now in this postseason? So yeah, that 16-point spread, that's way too high for that right there. And just to hit it real quick, because I got to go get baby girl from school in a
Oh
second.
yeah.
So from this, like I said, for the Aces, Asia Wilson, 11-4, most highest owned player, no doubt. If you want to get different, crazy, weird for some funky reason, you fade Asia Wilson, play Chelsea Gray. That's how you get different from the Aces
Mm-hmm.
because Chelsea Gray in the playoffs, complete different animal, and it's fucking ridiculous. She won MVP for a reason in the damn playoffs and shit because
Mm-hmm.
she is that woman when it comes down to this shit, and that's how you get different right there. Now, if you're not going fade Wilson, you want to play Wilson, and you're going to run it back with one of the 2 guards between Plum and Young, take Young. Everybody's going to go Plum. Everybody is going to go Plum because they're going to look at the game logs. They're going to see that she killed him. That's what it's going to be. Jackie Young is the GPP play in that, and I actually like it because if Jackie is stroking, and we know she's going to be the defensive identity for them, and if she turns
Mm-hmm.
Copper over a couple of times and shit like that, she gonna get there for you, and it's gonna make it real different because no one's gonna want to play that. No one's gonna want to mess with that at all anyway. And then
Yeah.
going over to the Chicago side, I agree with you. Courtney Williams too damn much. I don't know why the hell she's 9'8". I get she popped off for 70 plus in that last game, but it's a completely different factor, man. Not up against the Aces. Marbury, that's your wild card right there. GPP play. I actually, of course, like you said, I love Copper. This is Copper's battlefield right here, man. She's gonna go do whatever the hell she got to do to go win. And it's no questions asked, whatnot. Um, I know I'm throwing a lot at y'all real quick. It's just because I gotta go in a second. But real quick, touching back on the Connecticut Sun side, the GPP play I was talking about over here, you fade AT, you play Dewana Bonner, hope that Dewana Bonner goes off. AT just has a regular floor game about like 45-50. That's what you hope. Bonner goes off for that 50-60 at 9-2 versus that 11-6. I'm not saying that Bonner's going to outscore AT. But if AT drops 50, Dewana Bonner drops 50, look at the price difference. The value is going to be there. And that's how you get
Yeah.
different. All right. And then if you're not going to fade AT and you still want to run someone back and say you don't want to play Carrington, Heidemann, she might be your lowish owned play just because she's more than Tiffany Hayes and everyone else is going to flock to Tiffany Hayes. Heidemann, if the stroke is falling, I would hope that they're going to play her full allotment of 25 to 30 minutes. She can get there for you. That's how you take it down. I'm going to get funky with my lines. I won a couple of tickets, so I'm playing as many combinations as I can play with this shit. And then y'all kind of already called out a bunch of the daggone props, but favorite play, I know it's kind of cliche just to say it, but AT 42 fantasy points over, like lock it. That and Plum and Young, I think they had a 3-point thing at like 3.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's too fucking low. I don't know why that's low like that.
Oh shit. I
Shit,
didn't
Plum
see
could get that
that.
herself.
Real quick before you have to get off. So, Lana Smith is questionable for today's game, so we do have to watch out for that news. Plum free throws in that 3. I do love that. Um, yeah, they are watching the stream. That's crazy as hell. That as soon as I said that, all of a sudden they got bumped. It's been sitting at 6 all day. And
Yesterday
I even
too.
posted it in my main 2 man on Twitter. Like it's been posted for almost like a day and a half now. So that's crazy. You said something that I wanted to touch on, and I literally just forgot talking about all the other shit, and I should have just said what I wanted to say. Um, fuck, I forgot. If I think about it, I'll just post it on Twitter. Fuck it, it
Are
is what
you
it
good?
is.
You good? I still
Um,
got a little 5 minutes left before I gotta shut it down.
but yeah, definitely get creative with your lineups today. It's
I mean,
definitely
it's
that type.
10K up top. They
Yeah,
DraftKings they cut us down to like 2K, 5K for quite some time. So now this 10K up top, that's pretty big. I know everybody's big on the props, and I'll say it again, man. The DFS side, that's honestly somewhat some easy money right there that you can win, and you can see yourself become better and better, and you have a better chance of taking your little $15 that you're putting on like these 5 and 6 picks that you're playing, and you can play it right here in this and have a chance to legit win 10K. If not, maybe $200-300. Like you legit have a chance to if you listen to the stuff, you pay attention and whatnot. Sometimes it's the average person that just goes in and plays that takes down the stuff because they have no bias. I know with me and BK, we have a lot. I'm not gonna say we have a lot, but it's just we've watched this stuff so much and we know more than what we should when it comes down to it. So we overanalyze sometimes when it comes down to it, you know. And
yeah,
honestly, I think sometimes before we lock in our slips, we should go back and watch what the hell we done said on this shit. Cause we'll be calling it and go back and change what we done go change the damn line for no reason we don't need to. But all in all, I hope for some really good games today. Hopefully, on one of these days, on my days off, we can have a little WNBA watch party for one of the games. Maybe do some contests and stuff. Definitely looking forward to trying to do that for UFC and for the NFL. So we got some cool things that we want to bring down the pipeline for you guys.
yeah.
So definitely trying to do some watch parties and stuff like that. And we get big enough, maybe start doing some jersey giveaways and things like that. But yeah,
And
you got
then
anything else, Will?
last thing, so I finally remember what it was. The AT thing.
Mm-hmm.
So because you were talking about your favorite part. So here's my thing with AT. And somebody said it on my Twitter post earlier last night that they had taken AT's PR over her PA.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, for me personally, I don't think any prop for AT is going to be a bad prop today. Um, what I basically did is I took the one when you have a player that you know can get there on both, can do both rebounding and assisting, and they score. For me, I just take the one that's lower. If you know that they're gonna be able to score and get the assist, then just take the lower one. You know, there's just it's just an easier process to the finish line for me. Because I know that she can get there scoring. I know she's going to get there scoring. So she don't really need a whole bunch of assists, and she definitely could hit her assist over in the second quarter. Because Minnesota defense isn't that great. So that's why for me I just went her PA. Definitely her PR could definitely hit before the PA, but for me, like I said, I just went with the lower prop on that one. So that's all it was.
All right. Any other questions before we get up out of here? Any other questions? Hold up. Do we
Oh, do
play
y'all play
FanDuel?
FanDuel? If so, is the plays you like the same as DK? Some of them. It all depends on price wise. Like somebody that we like over here might be at a higher price over on DraftKings than they are on DK. If they are like that, then we like taking them over on FanDuel. So I mean, yes and no. You can apply what we said to both. But as far as lineups go, I would make sure the price match the output. So even though we like Alyssa Thomas or Asia Wilson, let's just say Asia Wilson is more expensive than Nafisa Collier over here, and let's say she's 800 more than Nafisa Collier. Nafisa Collier will probably be a better play on FanDuel than DraftKings, where Asia, who we know for sure can pop off and get you 50 fantasy points, is cheaper than Collier, who can do the same, but you know for sure that Asia can do this. So you just take the cheaper play, like I said over there. But let me look over here at the pricing. I really honestly didn't even take a look at the pricing over here on FanDuel. You didn't stop playing and get them first half props up. Yeah, yeah, that would be dope. Love the content. Thanks for
Um,
the support, fam.
top two value plays over on DraftKings. Looking at it overall, value depends on what you want to classify as value. If you're trying to talk about like the 5K and below players, we talked about it a second ago. Banham, her, she will probably be our favorite one from the first game just because she's putting that time with Tiffany Mitchell. Tiffany Mitchell gets herself in foul trouble, something like that. Banham, she'll come in and she's the better shooter of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Like that for her. And then outside of that, if Carrington was to miss, Taisha Harris is like honestly just drop dead value right there because she's going to be the only other guard that's going to come in and rotate for Hayes and Heidemann. Like
Who
that's legit.
who asked the FanDuel question?
That was this one.
All right, so check this out for a prime example. Over here, um, over here on FanDuel, they got Sydney Colson at 4-2, 4-2, and she probably is gonna play maybe 5 minutes, if any minutes at all. So she's sitting at 4-2. You got a Rachel Benham sitting at 3-8. That's gonna be your value play over there on FanDuel because Rachel Benham will definitely see more minutes than Sid Kosa. So if you get to a price range like that and you're like, oh damn, I ain't got that much. I got 4,300 left. Then Benham is probably gonna be your best play out of all those players over there. So over there for me is Benham. Tiffany Mitchell sitting at 4-5. I don't mind that. It's gonna be ugly as hell though. So her price matches her play. At Ford is really ugly. Milich is probably gonna be your best bet, but then again, you never really know. So yeah, probably the lowest you go in that Ford is probably Stokes at 5K because everybody else after that. I mean, you get Chance Hebert. Uh, yeah, you could probably Chance Hebert, but boy, you probably don't want to go no lower than 5K on FanDuel for forwards.
Hey,
And go ahead.
real quick, because I gotta go.
Yeah.
I just want to give you guys my four stacks that I'm like legit running for DraftKings today. And someone had asked what was our favorite prop play. I answered a second ago. Mine was AT fantasy points. I don't know. Did you have one?
Um, since you took 18 fantasy points, mine will be copper free throws over 2.5.
Okay, and that's a really good one. I might
Yeah.
pair that
If
with my
if Alana misses, then you can look at, like I said, Hebert, Parks. Parks will probably no. I don't know who gonna get the start, so you just need to watch for the starting
Yeah,
lineups on that.
I couldn't
But
tell you.
yeah, if Alana Smith misses, I would just watch for the starting lineups, play whoever's starting. Then, like you said, Hebert, Birch, all of them becomes into play, but you never know. You want to just kind of like chance like people that you know that's gonna play because with these game ones, we can definitely get it all wrong. You want to really see how it goes, and then the Hayes over Harris question. It's definitely Hayes, but with the way she plays, she's riskier than Harris. Hell,
Yeah. All right, so getting out of here real quick. My four stacks for sure that I'm running over on DraftKings. I'm gonna have an AT and Wilson line, a AT and Fee line, a Wilson Fee and Bonner line, and an AT Fee, and I'm gonna figure out how to fit her in. But AT Fee and Wilson, those are my four stacks that I got so far that I'm running for a fact over on DraftKings. I hate to cut the stream short. If y'all got any other questions and stuff, hit us up in the Discord, Twitter, or in the comment section. We do our best to answer all that stuff. I got to go.